Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next video, and back on another reviewing another trailer that also came out like quite recently. Um, well, the recent trailers I'm doing, they just haven't been that good, But because a lot of times I just don't look forward to a lot of things, but there has been a few exceptions though. But I mean, some of the films I listed off, some of the films I enjoyed this year. I mean, recently I just reviewed it. I enjoyed Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, or 4. I mean, there's most films nowadays, because a lot of films just suck nowadays. And very few diamonds in the rough that I enjoy, so. But the next trailer that came out recently, it's a like with Bad Boys for Life that came out decades later, right? Same with Beverly Hills Cop 4, right? Well, here it's another sequel, 24 years later, because the first one came out in 2000, and that is a sequel, Gladiator 2. So yes, Gladiator 2, 24-year sequel to the first movie. That once again it's directed by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott directed the first Gladiator with Russell Crowe, and also including casts like Joaquin Phoenix and Djimon Hounsou. And I gotta say my thoughts on the first Gladiator film. I mean, it wasn't for me, I mean, Gladiator. I mean, Russell Crowe did a good job. I think Joaquin Phoenix was good as the villain. And I like Djimon Hounsou. It's just that it's not a film I would watch, Gladiator. It's not a horrible movie. It's not a bad movie at all, And yes, it did win Oscars, or I think it did win for Best Picture. But the first Gladiator, it was just not my cup of tea, Like I said, I don't hate the movie, but it's a film I would not watch again. It's not my kind of movie, But now with this one, the sequel, like I said, Ridley Scott comes back to direct, and the film follows the character of Lucius. He was the boy that Russell Crowe was talking to. He was the boy, because the trailer opens up in flashbacks of the first movie, and it was the boy Lucius that Russell Crowe was talking to from the first movie. And so here he's grown up, and he's played by an actor that I don't even know of. I don't know of this actor, Paul Mescal. Maybe he's done like more films like in TV stuff or independent movies though, but I'm not too familiar with this guy, so as an actor overall, I just don't know anything about, so I don't know how good he is as an actor. So that's one thing with the film. You cast a guy, yeah, sure, you have him cast in this big epic movie. Surely, if the film is successful, he would get more star status, right? It'd get more jobs in bigger movies. I get that. That's business, right? But the thing is, though, it's just an actor that I don't even know who he is, so it's hard for me to be into this guy. And then again, of course, the supporting cast. You have Pedro Pascal, who's the general in this. So he was trained under Russell Crowe, but he's the villain in this. So in the trailer, you'll see that our main guy fighting him. And then you get Connie Nelson, who an actress I like, from Devil's Advocate, Soldier. She was in the DC film, the Wonder Woman movies, where she was Wonder Woman's mother, which honestly I think she would have been a better Wonder Woman than Gal Gadot was. And also I like Pedro Pascal as well. I mean, he was in Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Manners maketh man. Let me translate that for you. Of course, he's been recently cast in as Mr. Fantastic in the MCU Fantastic Four film. I'm like, I wonder how he's going to portray that. And of course, the Mandalorian, which I enjoy him as the Mandalorian. And he's got a lot of praise and starring in The Last of Us. So I like Pedro Pascal as an actor. And you got Joseph Quinn, who's the new Emperor in this. Which, speaking with the MCU with Fantastic Four, he's been cast, I think, as Johnny Storm. And I think he was in the show Stranger Things. I don't know. If it was, I'm not too familiar. I never watched Stranger Things. That's another show that's not my cup of tea at all. And then you got Denzel Washington, and we see him in the trailer talking to our main guy a couple times. Denzel Washington, phenomenal actor. I enjoy Denzel Washington as an actor. I enjoy a lot of his films. Of course, the last time Ridley Scott used him when he was an American Gangster, which honestly, that's a Ridley Scott film, but I was not into it at all. I was not big on American Gangster. But despite the supporting cast, though, I mean, the film itself, if I was not big on the first film, why would I be interested in this? And second off, it's 24 years later. Did anyone ask for a sequel to Gladiator? Really? Show of hands, did anyone ask for a sequel to Gladiator? I mean, yeah, the film made over, 400 million worldwide, did win some Oscars, right? So is that worthy enough to get to make a sequel? I think that Ridley Scott wanted to do it for a long time. I mean, on a big epic scale like this, I guarantee this film's gonna flop. Because looking at the budget of this, I'm like, for a movie like this, 250, maybe 300, maybe up to 300 million, because that's including marketing and stuff, right? I'm like, this film like this, I guarantee that probably this film's gonna flop. Because I don't see it making that amount of money in the U.S. I don't. So I think this is probably, I'm guaranteeing calling this is going to be a huge flop. I mean, like I said, it's a sequel that we pretty much nobody asked for. I mean, years later, did anyone think about, that Gladiator was this big epic, and then is worthy of deserving a sequel? So I don't know. I'm just, to me, overall from the trailer, the trailer itself, it was kind of meh for me. I mean, I like Denzel Washington. I like Pedro Pascal, but just like this whole thing is gonna be a whole bunch of big green screen backgrounds and fires. Yeah, surely probably will get some decent kills like the first movie did. It had some pretty grisly moments. I mean, people got, with the lions, right? And here, there's someone riding a huge rhino. I like the fact that the rhino has blood on its horn, it's been goring people. I did kind of like that interesting thing, riding this big rhino. Honestly, last time I saw someone riding a rhino, that was a Black Panther. It was Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. He was riding an armored rhino in Black Panther. I'm like, well, here at least with the indication that the rhino in this has been goring, killing people. You can see the blood on its horn. Can't do that for Black Panther because it's Disney. But yeah, but I did kind of like that a little bit though. And we see with Lucius, looking at Maximus's armor, and his sword. He takes that. He's gonna wear that. Eventually, he's gonna use it to fight Pedro Pascal. And we see more with Denzel Washington again. I mean, it's gonna be a whole lot of CGI. I mean, like I said, definitely a whole lot of CGI backgrounds and CGI fires. I'm like, and this film's gonna be how long is this film gonna be? I guarantee it's over 2 hours long. Because which is not surprising because every other film nowadays is over 2 hours long. Doesn't say though, but I guarantee it's gonna be probably between 2 to 2.5 hours. And especially on a huge budget to 250 to 300 million, that's just a lot. That's a lot of money for this film. And plus, funny enough, big, huge historical epic movies haven't done well for the past how many years, Especially Ridley Scott has directed quite a few of them. Like The Last Duel, that was a huge flop. He did the Christopher Columbus film, 1492. That was a huge flop back then. Gods and what was it? Gods and Exorcist. That was a flop. Well, I guess pretty much he got lucky. He got lucky with the first Gladiator film. Well, he didn't direct it though, but the 2016 remake of Ben-Hur, that flopped. That was a huge flop. Oh yeah, Napoleon from last year. The historical epics, yeah, Napoleon, the last year, that was a flop pretty much. On a budget of like 200 million, made like 200 something million worldwide. So that didn't do well. Let's see here. Yeah, he did the 2010 remake of Robin Hood, that flopped. That was another $200 million movie. Yeah, so Exodus, Gods and Kings, yeah. Kingdom of Heaven, yeah, that's one. Yeah, it was with Orlando Bloom, and I think it was Eric Bana, wasn't it? But that was a flop. So, yeah, so pretty much except for Gladiator, other big epic historical films didn't do well for him. You know. I mean, I love Alien, the first Alien film. Legend, I like Legend with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry as the villain. Blade Runner, I like. So I like Black Rain with Michael Douglas. G.I. Jane. Didn't mind the Hannibal, the sequel. I have to rewatch that again. Hannibal. I like Black Hawk Down. Prometheus sucked ass. So did Alien Covenant. Those two films are I would say those are his worst movies. Those are two pieces of shit films. Like I said, I'm not big on American Gangster or Body of Lies. Matchstick Men. White Squall. Thelma and Louise. Yeah, I forgot he directed Thelma and Louise. You know, Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis were the big epic ending where they both drive off the Grand Canyon. The Martian I liked, you know. I would say that's pretty much the last good film I liked from Ridley Scott, The Martian with Matt Damon, and that was 2015. Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much the last good one I liked from Ridley Scott was The Martian. But the thing is though, I just think his brother was a better director. I mean, I love Alien, Blade Runner, and some of the other ones I like from him though, but I just think that Tony Todd, his brother, was a better director. I mean, there's a lot more films I like from Tony Todd than Ridley Scott. I mean, I love The Last Boy Scout. I love Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder, Crimson Tide, Unstoppable. Even I did not mind the remake of the 2009 remake of The Taken of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Of course, that's what film he used Denzel Washington frequently a lot of his other films, you know. Man on Fire. I think he directed. Did he direct Deja Vu? Also with Denzel. I know he directed Man on Fire. Yeah, he did direct Deja Vu. Yes. Enemy of the State, Top Gun. I forgot he directed the film because I reviewed that film a while ago, some time ago. The Fan, with Snipes and De Niro. I like True Romance. Revenge with Kevin Costner. Spy Game, that was also with Brad Pitt and Robert Redford. And then Domino, I probably with Keira Knightley and Mickey Rourke, and also with Edgar Ramirez. I would probably say Domino is probably one of his weaker movies, his weakest film, you know. But overall, there was more films I liked from director Tony Scott than Ridley Scott, you know. To me, I think his brother Tony is a better director than Ridley Scott, because I enjoy more of his movies more than Ridley Scott did, you know. And I like sort of his how the way his style of films he did, you know. So yeah, the last but Ridley Scott, he had more flops than he did with Tony Scott, you know. Especially when he did these big epic historical movies. I guarantee this film's gonna be a huge flop, like the rest of them he's done, you know. Although I think he just got lucky when Gladiator was a hit, you know. So yeah, this trailer didn't do anything for me. I mean, it was just, you know, a main actor, the lead guy who I pretty much know nothing about. I mean, decent actor, good actors like Pedro Pascal, Connie Nelson, and Denzel, you know. They'll probably be the highlights of the film for me, though. But to me, I'm just like, did anyone ask for a sequel to Gladiator, really? No, not really. For me. And this just the budget of this film is so huge. I mean, I feel like if it's gonna flop, it's just a waste of money, you know. I mean, feel even for sequels to a Ridley Scott film, he didn't direct it though. But I enjoyed Blade Runner 2049. Honestly, I probably enjoyed that more than the first Blade Runner. And don't get me wrong, Blade Runner, the first film, is a classic, no doubt about it. I enjoyed the film, you know. Because, hey, Harrison Ford I liked, you know, Sean Young, the late Rutger Hauer, rest in peace. I enjoyed Blade Runner. That's a classic, though, but I think I got a little bit more than Blade Runner 2049. And that's a director I'm not really big... That's coming from a director I'm not really big on, because he directed Arrival, which that's a film a lot of people praise for. He directed the Doom movies he's done. I'm not really overall big on that guy, though, but I enjoyed Blade Runner 2049. That's a sequel that Ridley Scott did, and I enjoyed that film probably a bit more, probably. But I'm just getting offhand, so yeah. This sequel, Gladiator 2, to me, it's just not for me. I don't look forward to this. Yeah, some good actors, but guaranteed to be a lot of CGI, and probably guaranteed the running time is going to be like 2 to 2.5 hours. This whole plot for our main guy is to go through this whole entire thing for his mission from point A to point B to get Pedro Pascal. Just like how at the end for the first Gladiator, how for Russell Crowe to get Joaquin Phoenix. Instead of lions, they use rhinos. And there's probably a whole lot more CGI in this film than the first movie. I guarantee this film's gonna flop. I guarantee it. It was coming out, during the Thanksgiving weekend? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that people, because around that time, Moana 2 is going to come out, and people are going to go see that more than Gladiator 2. Because Disney's Moana, people love, and I guarantee you, people are going to go see that more than Gladiator 2. I'm just calling it right now. I'm just pointing out, so. I mean, I like the first Moana, but Dwayne Johnson's track record hasn't been good recently, though. Yeah, you can get away with it, make the argument, because he's only doing a voice, not doing live-action movies, you know? That's a difference. But anyway, I'm just pointing that out, too, so, but the trailer itself for Gladiator 2 wasn't me. It didn't do nothing for me. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time. Later.